Hello my friends and welcome back to Kev's Hobby Showcase. I'm of course Kevin. You may have also seen me on Tabletop Jones Productions where John and I are the two idiots playing board games. And today, well, I'm going to be continuing my four-part series for painting force for the Northwind Highlanders in the game Battletech. And today, here we go. We got the infantry to go. A nice platoon of Battlearmor, Inner Sphere Battlearmor. So first thing I got to do, of course, is prime them, and then of course the base coat of the tan color, which is probably going to go very quickly because they're small, but there's 6 of them, but they're small, so it should go pretty darn quick. And then I got to do a little detail of the green. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it yet, though. That's the thing, because for the mechs, it was saying like a lower part of the arm limbs with the legs, but I don't know how. I might, something. I might just do it like a little bit on the legs, because I think the arms are mostly weapons. So I might just do it on the legs of these guys, or I might do what there's like shoulder mounts. I might put it on that. And now the basing, last part, I was saying I was using desert. I should have used snow. But being that those were heavy tanks, there wasn't a lot of room on the base, so not a lot is going to show up anyway. So it's not going to be that noticeable. So these guys will be noticeable, so I will be using a snow basing this time. But anyway, first things first, got to prime them. All right, so I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to take a little time to prime them, and then when I come back, then when the primer is dry, we'll start off with the base coat. All right, so stay tuned, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and that paint is now dry, and we're going to start with the base coat. All right, so let's just get to it. All right. And this time I got the brushes out. All right. There we go. Let's get started here. Yeah, I decided for these guys, I usually take out, the bigger brush, but I notice I always have like a bubble of paint. So I decided to go with something a little smaller, seemingly more appropriate for little tiny minis like this. And I think I mentioned before taking the break to prime these guys. I did put the first 2 parts of this series on Patreon for those of you who are watching from there. So, if you want to see them, they should not be hard to find. Okay. And actually, because like normally I do these videos on a Saturday. Well, today's a little bit different, because on Saturday, see, it's like last Sunday, John and I were finally able to meet. So we basically played and recorded ourselves playing Marvel Crisis Protocol. I think I've mentioned it before. We did do that once before, and it's like when it comes to Tabletop Jones Productions, pretty much John handles all the editing and all that. I do it for this channel, but he does it for the one we do together. And so anyway, so we had gotten like a whole bunch of stuff recorded over the course of the year, but we had not been able to, well, because like normally he would do it on his own, but because of work obligations, he wasn't able to get the videos out. So we were meeting for a while on our usual Sundays, and he so we were getting like a whole we got a number of videos out for some of the games that we had played, and when we so when we went to do the Marvel Crisis Protocol one, well, the file on his computer that the clips were in, that all the video files were in, wouldn't let them move out of it for some reason. We don't know why. We just couldn't figure it out. So finally we had a discussion about it, and I was like, so what would be easier, trying to figure this out or just do it over? And both me and John were like, you know what, let's just do it over. So we did do, the first time, we did do a scenario of mutants versus sentinels. When we redid it, we did not do that. We just, I chose 4 characters, he chose 4 characters, and we did our usual head-to-head. So we will be meeting. So I'm doing this now on a Friday that I had taken off from work. I was in a very unique position this year. Usually, because this is December, of course. Usually in December, I have just enough days to cover the the week that I always schedule, which is between Christmas and New Year's. I just need 4 days for that. But because of something I was hoping to happen, I had 3 days extra. So I'm like, oh, okay. Now, on my job, we are able to carry over vacation time, but because I have about 30 years, I'm in my 30th year, because I have so much time, each year I have available to me 5 weeks. So I saw no point in carrying over 3 days. So I was like, you know what, let me just take them. So I scheduled today, and then I scheduled Thursday and Friday next week. So I might be doing videos. Yeah, actually, no, I will be doing videos, not on a Saturday again next week. I'll be doing on either Thursday, well, probably Friday, not Thursday. And the reason being is one of my uncles is having a Christmas get-together, and I want to go. So that's the reason for that. I might still post these videos on Saturdays, but But anyway, so so next week I took off Thursday because it's my daughter's birthday. I get to spend the day with her and cook whatever, cook the birthday meal she wants. She wants fried chicken. And I figured, why not just take the Friday? So basically, the first week of December is the only full week I'm in at work. Yeah. Oh, all right, see the base coat on these guys went pretty quickly. They are, they're infantry, they're small. And, well, let's just say they're infantry and they're small. I think. Okay, so I'm gonna let that paint dry. When I come back, I'm gonna do the. I'm gonna not only am I gonna do the green paint, I'm gonna see if I can get the gunmetal on, and then possibly touch up around the base. Try to get this moving. All right, so so let me try it again in English. So let's let this paint dry, and I will be right back. All right, so stay tuned. Okay, I'm back, and that base coat is now dry, and we're going to start with some of these details. All right, so let's get to it. All right, we're going to start. Excuse me. We're going to start with the green. Okay. So I'm going to stick to what I said before, and I'm going to put the green on the legs. Actually, let me just. A little awkward getting this brush in there. These things are so small. Yeah. Do front and back. Okay, sorry I got so quiet. I'm just trying to do this without making it be like a huge mess. Alright, so yeah. So yep, today is not the day I normally do these, like I was saying before. But, like I was saying, I basically have things that I need to get done, and oh, I had days I could take. I mean, I originally just took today off because I just wanted the day off. You know, it's been like a deep freeze here. It's been in the well, for New York it is at least. You know, it's been in the mid-20s, because I know there are some areas of this country where it gets a lot colder than that. In fact, a friend of mine who lives in Minnesota has told me about some of those winters. I would not want to trade the New York winters for those, I'll tell you that. But being that as I do have arthritis, especially in my knees, it does take a toll when it gets that cold. As a matter of fact, I remember last January when it was really starting to, you know, first take hold. There was a bunch of days I had to take because I just, we'd get like to the end of the week and I just couldn't do it anymore. And I do hope that a few things I need to happen in order for me to retire sooner rather than later, happen. I'm not going to get into it because it is a bit of a private matter. Yeah, but, just going to keep on plugging away. Try not to waste days off. And I think this year is a good example of not wasting days off, because I did have extra time that I could take, which was a first. Yeah, I don't think I don't think I can ever remember like another year where I had so much time left that I was able to take multiple days off in December. Yeah, so this is a first. But very welcome first, if you know what I mean. I'll see how 2026 works out as far as time off. Well, yeah, we'll see, because I do anticipate a lot of really cold days, or weeks, I should say, in January, February. I know it's going to happen. I just gotta be careful with how many I actually use. yeah, it's like I said, utilize this time, do these videos. Did some writing earlier on one of the writing projects I got going for a book that I'm writing that's also going to be read on this channel. And you know, got a few things going on that I'm trying to build up. And then tomorrow, hopefully, John and I can get the so we, like I said, we played Marvel Crisis Protocol, and we're going to basically be releasing it as 3 videos, and we're going to release them all at the same time, so they'll all be available. For those of you watching on Patreon, it's not going to be released here. It's going to be on our YouTube channel, Tabletop Jones Productions. John and I did once try something on Patreon, but we didn't post enough to really make it a successful channel. I mean, I'm just starting off again on my own, so I figured, in addition to the exclusive content that I have, that I have posted already, and that I'm going to be posting very soon. I'm also taking my YouTube videos and posting them here as free content. And for anybody who is from Patreon monitoring this, just realize videos are mine. All the content is me. So there's no worries about infringing on anything, because it's all me. Yeah, so like I said, I needed to be able to post more on Patreon, and I needed to be able to post more content that needs to be free, because I need stuff that people can stumble upon and find without being a member and say, hey, maybe I'll check that out. Maybe I'll check out his exclusive content. And because it is probably the best way to give me the support I would need to keep making content. Now, as far as this goes, the Battletech stuff that I am painting right now, there is a chance of me getting it out here as exclusive content, because I will occasionally have people doing content with me, such as my son, which I might have exclusive. I'm going to have exclusive content with him soon. We're going to be playing the game Star Wars, the deck building game. It's going to be coming out pretty soon, and we haven't made the recording yet, but we're getting set to. And for those of you who decide to become members, will be introduced to my son. I think he only agreed to do it because it was basically going to be considered private content, or I should say exclusive content, like, you know, and because he is trying to do stuff on his own and wants to make it on his own and not make it because he was doing anything with me, which I get and I fully respect. And for those of you who are still watching me on YouTube, you know, the best way you could support me there is to, well, first off, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, because I do look at the analytics from time to time, and it's about 80% of my viewers who, you know, are not subscribers. I can only imagine how many subscribers I would have if that were closer, you know, if more of those people who are watching but not subscribing actually subscribed. It would be quite a thing. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, the goal with YouTube is to get monetized. And the best thing about YouTube subscriptions is they cost nothing. I mean, I got a number of content creators I'm subscribed to myself. Some are game related, some are, a couple of them I think are people I know. Some of them, well, I think one of them is connected to the Giants, my favorite football team. I think one of them is even connected to the Rangers, which is my favorite hockey team. You know, some of them, you know, have, you know, they're from various subjects. I think one of the subscriptions I have is to Catalyst Labs, which actually makes the Battletech game. You know, now they have the rights to it. Alright, so that's the gunmetal. I'm gonna touch up the base, and then I'm gonna take another break. It's always annoying when the cap goes on crooked. There we go. Let's take out the black. Okay, so let's get this finished up. All right. I think I could have chosen a better brush for this, huh? I might have to start investing in new brushes. Yeah, so once all this, well, once especially the paint I'm putting on the base is dry, then I'll put the labels on. I'll do that off camera like I've been doing. I used to save one, but you know, when I finally I was able to get the new cartridges for the label maker. They did the backs differently. Okay, I gotta get a different brush for this. This is becoming problematic. Bristles are too long. Yeah, that'll do. yeah, so anyway, like I said, you know, they started making the backs of the labels differently. Instead of just one strip covering the whole back, now it's split in the middle. So it's more of a real difficult time to separate the backs of the labels from, you know, from the from the actual label. So rather than see me struggle with it, I'll just do it off camera. And I'm sure there's probably some of you that would be like, "Aw," because you want to see me struggle. Well, I don't. All right, I'm just about done with this. Got one more. So anyway, like I said before with these, for those of you who are interested in the game and want to buy these buy these packs. So the Inner Sphere Battlearmor, it actually comes with just 4 of these things. Now, I once looked at the data sheet for the Inner Sphere Battlearmor, and it shows 6. So I like to keep it, you know, pretty accurate to what the game is supposed to have. And you don't have to do that, but I decided to do that because it shows a full platoon of 6 squads. So, oh, sorry, sorry to jostle you there. Yeah, so just to finish what I was saying, so basically I buy 2 pack. Well, if you buy 3 packages, it's 2 full platoons. So that's what I do. I mean, does it get pricey after a while? Yeah, it does. But you know, if you want a full platoon, that's what you got to do. Well, anyway, so I'm gonna let this paint dry, and when we come back, the labels will be on, and all I have to do is the base and the wash. Now, and as I said with the base, yes, I'm going to keep using the snow. Yes, I messed up last week, and I used desert thinking that's what I was using. I should have looked at what I did before with the battle mechs, but I didn't. But anyway, with the what I did last week, it was heavy tanks, so there wasn't a lot of space anyway. So it's not going to be as noticeable as it could be, but this will be very noticeable. So yes, I'm doing the snow. All right, so stay tuned, and I will be right back. All right, I'm back. That paint is dried and the labels are on. Now it's just time to base and wash. All right, so let's get to it, right? All right. I might have to do some more of these things in the snow. Got so much of it. Okay. All right, so put one glob in the middle, and I'm spreading it around. All right. Okay. Actually, with the glue, it kind of looks like it's like a little bit of frost on top of ice. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit different now. Put a glob on each side. Make it a bit easier to spread along the edges. Alright, so basically, so now it's like I've been thinking of when to have all this actually get used. So, I mean, the first thing I would say is most likely going to be on Tabletop Jones Productions, because John and I are increasing our efforts to get videos made and then put out. Yeah, we're not gonna wait too long. Oops. Like I said last week, we played and recorded ourselves playing Marvel Crisis Protocol, and we are going to put the video together this weekend and see when we can meet to do the next game. Maybe it'll be this one, because if he doesn't have a game ready to go, I'll say, well, why don't we do Battletech? You know, we could do a more elaborate game. Maybe actually do like missions or something like that. I'm not sure yet how to do it, because I might try to make it a little interesting by, you know, having specific objectives printed out, like on cards or something, and like have each kind of choose these cards, and maybe have like a little point system attached to it. Not entirely certain yet, but I don't know if I'm going to have the full, you know, amount of the forces that I have put together ready, if it's just going to be like a lance of battle mechs, because John is still pretty new to the game, and quite frankly, I haven't played this game as much as I would have liked to. But we can do, one thing that we were thinking of doing is doing like some simple scenarios for here on YouTube, and maybe to, you know, either we do it on my Patreon, you know, which is of course also here, or if we're going to make another attempt at the two of us having a Patreon channel. Most likely, though, it's probably going to be one. It would probably be one up here as exclusive content on Patreon. Especially if we do it the classic method, which is with the data sheets and all that. Although that one will take longer, and we'll have to figure out how to fully utilize that, because I don't know. I mean, exclusive content. I mean, realistically, I do not have any members yet, and I do look forward to having them, and I do look forward to putting together these things to keep them, you know, to keep, you know, members interested and all that. Alrighty, so they are all based. Now we just got to do the wash. I like to put things away as I'm done with them. Okay. I wash all the excess of the terrain off my fingers. All right, so gonna do a quick. Oh, darn it! I may have. I think I should have done this first. I think the trick is I can't let it touch the base. I mean, it is a very, very small piece, or pieces, I should say. So it's not going to show up a whole heck of a lot. I still want to do it anyway, just in case there's any chance of any of it showing up. Actually, I think it's showing up more on the back than it is on the front. Okay, I'm gonna have a a little bit to brush off my table here. Okay. And that's it for that. All right, so let's get these ready to present. Okay. Alrighty, so here's what we got. A nice platoon of Battlearmor ready to deploy for the Northwind Highlanders. Okay, so So that's it. That's all I got for today. Please like, subscribe, and share as much as possible. It's the best way to support me. It's the best way to support the channel. If you are watching me on Patreon, please check out my exclusive content. I try to be as entertaining as I can. You might one day I might actually have this on as exclusive content. And also, please go to Tabletop Jones Productions. Do the same there. Like, subscribe, and share as much as possible. For all of you on YouTube, it's the best way to support the channel. It's the best way to support John and I. For those of you on Patreon, if you're liking the free content, please check out the exclusive content. All right. So anyway, again, that's what I got for today. This is part 3. Part 4 will be next week. It'll be the last part for this series. It'll be it'll be like a lance of vehicles, and that one will be a little bit interesting because for the first time I will have a helicopter, an attack helicopter. So I'm gonna have to probably do that.